Right now, while you are watching this video, what language are you thinking in? Be honest. You are listening to English, but are your thoughts also in English? For many people, the answer is no. They listen in English, but they still think in their own language. Then they translate every sentence before they speak. That is why speaking feels slow, difficult, and stressful. But today I want to help you change that. Not with hundreds of grammar rules or thousands of new words. Just 99 simple sentences that can help you start thinking in English naturally. Here is something that many people never realize. Most of your daily thoughts are actually very simple. You don't think in long, difficult sentences all day. You think in short ideas like, I need to go, I don't know, this is good, I am tired, or what should I do? These same types of thoughts come back again and again every day. Only the details change. If that is true, then learning to think in English becomes much easier. You do not need to learn everything. You only need to learn the common sentence patterns and practice them until they become natural. That is why these 99 sentences can make such a big difference. Let me explain why these 99 sentences are so important. Most people learn English to talk with other people. They practice conversations, questions, and answers. But very few people practice the English they use inside their own mind. Every day, you have a quiet voice in your head. It tells you what to do, plans your day, solves problems, and talks about your feelings. Before you speak any sentence, you usually think it first. If your mind is still thinking in your native language, you have to translate every idea before you speak. That is why speaking feels slow. But when you start thinking in English first, speaking becomes easier, faster, and more natural. These 99 sentences are designed to help you build that habit. I want you to notice something today. As you go through your day, listen to your inner voice. What is it saying? You may think things like, I should eat something. Where are my keys? I hope today goes well. Or, I don't feel like doing this. These are simple thoughts, and they come back again and again every day. You do not need difficult words or complicated grammar to think like this in English. You only need a small group of simple sentences that are always ready in your mind. When these sentences become natural, you stop translating and start thinking directly in English. This is exactly why these 99 sentences are so important. They are not sentences you memorize for an exam. They are not textbook dialogues that you never use in real life. These are simple sentences that match the thoughts you already have every day, but now in English. Sentences like, I think I can do this. This is taking longer than I expected. I should ask someone. Or, I'm not sure about this yet. These sentences may look simple, but they are the ones your mind needs every day. When you think them again and again in English, they slowly become natural. And little by little, your mind starts thinking in English without needing to translate first. Let me tell you why many people never learn to think in English, even after studying for years. They learn English only for exams, classrooms, or conversations with other people. But they forget about the quiet conversations they have with themselves every day. The biggest change happens in those small moments when no one is watching. While you are cooking, walking, waiting for a bus, standing in a line, or lying in bed before you sleep, your mind is always thinking. These simple moments are the best time to practice thinking in English. You do not need a teacher or a classroom. You only need to change your thoughts from your native language into simple English. Many people never do this because no one ever tells them how important these small moments really are. Here is a simple challenge I want you to try right after this video. For the next 10 minutes, think about everything you are doing in English. It does not have to be perfect. Just try. Say in your mind, I am walking to the kitchen. I am opening the fridge. I don't know what to eat. At first, it may feel strange. Your mind may keep going back to your native language. That is completely normal. It does not mean you are doing it wrong. It only means your brain is used to an old habit. Every time you gently bring your thoughts back to English, you are building a new habit. Little by little, thinking in English will start to feel easier and more natural. I want to be honest with you about something that many English courses never say. Learning to think in English will feel strange at first. There is no way to skip that part. When you start talking to yourself in English or describing your day in your mind, it may feel slow, difficult, or even a little funny. But that does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means you are learning a new habit. Every time you think in English, your brain is creating a new path. At first, that path feels rough and unfamiliar. But with daily practice, it becomes smoother, easier, and more natural. One day, you will think in English without even realizing you are doing it. Let's talk about why I chose 99 sentences, not a much bigger number. The reason is simple. The goal is not to learn more. The goal is to use what you learn every day. If you practice 99 useful sentences again and again in your real life, they will become a natural part of your thinking. But if you try to learn 1,000 sentences and only read them once in a while, you will forget most of them. It is better to know a small number of sentences really well than to know a huge number that you never use. I would rather help you master 99 sentences that stay with you than give you hundreds more that never become part of your daily life. Over the next videos in this series, I am going to teach you these 99 sentences step by step. We will learn them in simple and useful groups. You will learn sentences for your morning routine, making decisions, talking to yourself, encouraging yourself, and describing the things you see around you every day. But we will do more than just memorize them. I will show you how to use these sentences in your daily life until they become a natural part of your thoughts. Little by little, thinking in English will stop feeling like practice. It will become something your mind does quietly and naturally every day. Let me introduce you to the first group of these 99 sentences. I call them morning sentences because they are the first thoughts you have after you wake up. Simple sentences like, I slept well, I didn't sleep well, I have a lot to do today, I feel rested, or I still feel tired. We start with these sentences for a very important reason. The first thoughts in your mind often decide how you will think for the rest of the day. If your day starts in your native language, your brain will usually keep thinking that way. But if you begin with one simple sentence in English, you start building a new habit. Every morning, your mind becomes a little more comfortable thinking in English, and little by little, it starts to feel natural. Here is something important about building a new habit. It does not happen because of one big decision. It happens because of small actions that you repeat every day. When you do the same thing at the same time, again and again, your brain slowly stops thinking about it. It becomes a habit. You can use this idea to start thinking in English. Every morning, when your alarm rings, think one simple sentence in English before you get out of bed. You can say, "Today is a new day," or "I want to do my best today." The sentence does not have to be difficult. It only needs to be simple and repeated every morning. That small habit can help your mind start the day in English instead of your native language. Now let's move to the second group of these 99 sentences, decision-making sentences. These are the simple thoughts you have every day when you make choices. You may think, should I do this now or later? I think this is the better choice. I'm not sure which one to choose. Or, let me think about it for a moment. You probably say these kinds of sentences to yourself many times every day without even noticing. That is why they are so useful. The more often you think these simple sentences in English, the more natural English becomes. You do not need to create extra practice. Your daily decisions give you many chances to practice thinking in English all by yourself. I want you to try something simple with this group of sentences. The next time you make a small decision, try to think about it in English. It could be deciding what to eat, what to wear, or which way to go. Stop for a moment and think in English. If you can, say it out loud. If not, say it quietly in your mind. For example, I think I'll wear the blue shirt, or maybe I should take the shorter way today. These are small decisions, but you make them every day. That means you get many chances to practice. This kind of real-life practice helps you think in English much better than memorizing long conversations that you may never use. The third group is the most important one in these 99 sentences. These are self-talk and encouragement sentences. They are the words you say to yourself when things are difficult, when you make a mistake, or when you feel like giving up. Simple sentences like, "It's okay, I'll try again. This is difficult, but I can do it. I made a mistake and that's okay." Or, "I'm getting better every day." When life becomes hard, most people think in their native language because it feels more comfortable. But if you learn to encourage yourself in English, something amazing happens. English becomes more than just a language you study. It becomes a language you use to support yourself, stay positive, and keep moving forward. That is a big step toward thinking naturally in English. Let me explain why this is so important. The way you talk to yourself becomes a part of who you are. If you only encourage yourself in your native language, English may always feel like something you use only for studying or talking to other people. But when you start saying simple things to yourself in English, something begins to change. You can say, "I can do this. It's okay. I'll try again." Or, "I'm getting better." These simple sentences help English become a part of your daily life, not just a subject to learn. Little by little, English stops feeling like a foreign language and starts feeling like a natural language for your own thoughts and everyday life. Here is one sentence from this group that I want you to practice today. Think about something that is worrying you right now, even if it is something small. Then say this sentence to yourself. "It's okay, I'll figure this out." Say it slowly, either out loud or quietly in your mind. Pay attention to how it feels. This is not just a sentence for practicing English. It is a sentence you can use in real life when you feel stressed, confused, or worried. The more you use simple sentences like this in real moments, the more natural they become. And little by little, you will start thinking and encouraging yourself in English without needing to translate first. Now let's move to the fourth group, observation sentences. These are simple sentences you use to describe the things around you. For example, "It's raining outside." "This place is crowded." "That smells really good." Or, "This is taking longer than I expected." You can use these sentences almost anywhere and at any time. You do not need a teacher, a classroom, or someone to practice with. Just look around and describe what you see, hear, or feel in simple English. The more you do this, the more your mind gets used to thinking in English during everyday life. It is one of the easiest and most natural ways to build the habit of thinking in English. I want you to notice why observation sentences are so powerful. They happen naturally throughout your day. You do not have to plan them or wait for a conversation. Every time you see, hear, or notice something, you have a chance to think in English. A bus drives past you. A child starts laughing. The weather changes. Someone is talking on the phone. Each of these moments gives you a new chance to practice. These small moments happen many times every day. That means you can practice thinking in English again and again without opening a book or sitting in a classroom. The more you use these simple moments, the more natural thinking in English becomes. So here is what we have learned now. The first group helps you start your day by thinking in English. The second group helps you make everyday decisions in English. The third group teaches you how to encourage and support yourself in English. And the fourth group helps you describe the world around you in simple English. These four groups give you a strong foundation for thinking in English every day. We have not learned all the 99 sentences yet, but you already understand how they work and why they are so useful. In the next part of the series, we will learn even more personal sentences. Sentences for remembering things, making plans, and thinking about your future. These are the quiet thoughts you have every day, and they can help English become a natural part of your life. Now let's move to the fifth group, memory sentences. These are the simple thoughts you have about things that already happened. You might think, that was a good day. I forgot to do that. Yesterday was difficult. Or I remember now. We all spend time thinking about the past. We remember good moments, think about our mistakes, or laugh about something funny that happened earlier. These thoughts are a normal part of everyday life. If you only remember these moments in your native language, your English stays only in the present. But when you start remembering your past in English, the language becomes a part of more of your life. Little by little, English is no longer just something you study. It becomes a language you use to think about your experiences too. Try this tonight before you go to sleep. Take 1 or 2 minutes to think about your day in simple English. Say sentences like, I woke up late. I talked to my friend. I felt tired in the afternoon. Or, today was a good day. Don't worry if your grammar is not perfect. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to build the habit of thinking in English. Just as you can start your morning with one simple English sentence, you can end your day the same way. When you begin and finish your day in English, even for a few minutes, English becomes a real part of your daily life, not just something you practice during a lesson. Now let's move to the sixth group. Planning sentences. These are the simple thoughts you have about what you want to do next. You might think, I need to finish this first. I will call them later. Tomorrow I should wake up early. Or, let's see what happens. We use these kinds of sentences every day when we plan our work, our studies, or our daily activities. That is why they are so useful. They are not just sentences for learning English. They help you organize your real life. The more you use planning sentences in English, the easier it becomes to think about your next step without translating. Over time, planning in English starts to feel as natural as planning in your own language. Here is a simple habit I want you to try with planning sentences. Every evening, before you go to bed, think about tomorrow in English. Use 3 or 4 short sentences like, tomorrow I will wake up early. I need to finish my work. I want to call my friend. Or, I hope everything goes well. This takes less than 1 minute, but it is very powerful. You are not only planning your next day, you are also training your mind to think in English. When you do this every evening, your brain slowly gets used to making plans in English, and little by little, thinking in English becomes a natural part of your daily routine. Now let's talk about 7th group, and this is my favorite one, identity sentences. These are the thoughts you have about yourself and the person you are becoming. You might think, I am someone who never gives up. I am getting better every day. I am still learning, and that is okay. Or, I am proud of how far I have come. These sentences may look simple, but they are very powerful. The way you talk to yourself affects the way you see yourself. When you think positive and honest thoughts in English, English becomes more than just a language. It becomes a part of your life and your personal growth. That is why these identity sentences are some of the most important sentences in this whole method. Think about how you talk to yourself when you make a mistake. Many people say things like, "I'm so bad at this," or "I always do this wrong." Now try changing those thoughts into simple and kind English sentences. Say, "I am still learning," "I am getting better little by little," or "It's okay to make mistakes." These are not just positive words. They are honest reminders that learning takes time. When you start using these sentences in English, you are doing two important things at the same time. You are practicing English, and you are building a kinder and more confident way of talking to yourself. One simple sentence, repeated every day, can slowly change both your English and the way you think about yourself. Now let's move to the eighth and final group, curiosity sentences. These are the simple questions you ask yourself because you want to learn something new. You might think, "I wonder why that happened. I wonder what that means. I want to know more about this." Or, "That's interesting. I didn't know that." These sentences are important because curiosity helps you keep learning. When you become curious in English, you naturally pay more attention to the language around you. You start asking questions, noticing new words, and wanting to understand more. Little by little, English becomes something you enjoy exploring, not just something you study. That is one of the best ways to keep improving every day. Now let's stop for a moment and look at everything we have learned. We started with morning sentences to begin the day in English. Then we learned decision sentences, self-talk, and encouragement sentences, observation sentences, memory sentences, planning sentences, identity sentences, and curiosity sentences. These 8 groups, with about 12 simple sentences in each, make up our 99 sentences. These sentences were not made to sound smart or impress other people. They were not created for exams or speeches. They were created for one simple reason: to help you think in English during your everyday life. The more you use them in your own private thoughts, the more natural English will become, one simple sentence at a time. I want to answer a question that some of you may be thinking about. Will 99 sentences be enough forever? The honest answer is no. As you keep learning, you will naturally learn more words and more sentences, and that is a good thing. But right now, you do not need hundreds or thousands of sentences to get started. You need a small and strong foundation that you can use every day. These 99 sentences are that foundation. They help you start thinking and speaking in English today, not months or years later. Once these simple sentences become natural, learning new ones will become much easier. Step by step, your English will grow from a strong beginning. These 99 sentences are not the end of your learning. They are the beginning. Think of them as a strong foundation that helps you build everything else. As you keep practicing, you will naturally learn more words and more sentences through real life, real conversations, and your own curiosity. But first, you need this strong base. Many learners try to learn difficult words, advanced grammar, and long sentences before they master the simple ones they use every day. That is why they know a lot of English but still find it hard to think or speak naturally. When you build a strong foundation first, everything you learn later becomes easier, faster, and more useful. Let me give you a simple method that you can actually use every day. Do not just read these 99 sentences and forget them. Every day, choose 3 simple sentences from any group. Write them in a notebook or somewhere you can see them easily. In the morning, read each sentence out loud 5 times. Then, during the day, try to use each sentence at least 1 time in a real situation. That is all you need to do. 3 sentences, 5 repetitions, 1 real use. This method is simple, but it works because you are using English in your real life, not only studying it. When you do this every day, these sentences slowly become a natural part of the way you think. If you follow this simple method every day, in a little over 1 month, you will have practiced all 99 sentences many times in real situations. You will not just remember them, you will actually use them. After some time, you will notice something interesting. You will stop trying so hard to think in English. The right sentences will start coming into your mind naturally, at the right time, without much effort. That is not because of luck or talent. It happens because you practice the same useful sentences again and again in your everyday life. This is how every real skill grows. With small, consistent practice, what once felt difficult slowly becomes natural. I want to tell you what this feels like when it starts to happen, so you can recognize it. It is not a big or dramatic moment. It is usually very small and quiet. You might be making tea, walking to school or work, or waiting for someone. Then, without trying, a simple thought comes into your mind in English. You do not translate it. You do not force it. It just appears naturally. For a moment, you may stop and think, I just thought that in English. That small moment is a sign that you are making real progress. It shows that English is slowly becoming a natural part of your thinking. These quiet moments may seem small, but they are some of the biggest signs that your daily practice is working. I want you to understand why this method works so well. It is not only because you practice every day, it is because you are changing the way you think. Your thoughts are the most private part of your life. They are there when no one is watching or listening. When you start thinking in English, even with simple and imperfect sentences, English becomes more than just a subject you study. It becomes a part of your everyday life. That is much more meaningful than simply memorizing words or passing a test. You are not only learning English, you are building a new way to think, express yourself, and understand the world. That is real progress, and it is something that grows a little stronger every single day. So this is where our lesson ends, and where your real practice begins. Tonight, before you go to sleep, choose just one simple English sentence from this video, and think it quietly to yourself. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, choose another simple sentence and make it your first thought of the day. You do not need difficult words or perfect grammar. You only need simple sentences that you use again and again in your real life. That is how you build the habit of thinking in English. These 99 sentences practiced every day and used in real moments are enough to change the way your mind thinks. Little by little, one ordinary day at a time, English will stop feeling like something you translate and start feeling like a natural part of your thoughts.